Always great catching up with my next guest and really appreciate him taking the time here today. Of course, I'm talking about Geoff Neal back here on the program. Geoff, how's it going, man?
Going good. Just got done working out, just relaxing right now.
Yes. Is this the couch where you play all your video games and stuff? I feel like we've been here before when we've done interviews.
Yeah, I spend about a good majority of the day on this couch. So, yeah.
Good stuff, man. How are you doing? I mean, obviously, it's never fun to talk about a loss, but, it's been a little while now since that fight against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. How are your spirits? I know you've been back in the gym training. I've been talking to some of your teammates. How's everything going?
Everything's going good. I'm back in the gym full time. I had to take some time off to let the cut right here heal, and then I messed up and I cut my fingers. I had to get stitches in my fingers like right after the fight. So that put me out longer than the cut on my eye. So I had to take like an extra 2 weeks off to let the stitches on this heal up. But I'm back in and everything's good. Spirits are high. I'm not too bummed out about the loss, but it is what it is.
It happens. Yeah, no, for sure. How did you cut your fingers, by the way? Was that in the fight or was that something else?
I was hoping my girl opened up a hammer and it had one of those zip ties.
Oh, no.
She has a really sharp knife and I didn't realize how sharp it was. So I just slid straight through the zip tie and cut my finger.
Oh no, that stinks. But you're all cleared now, or do you still need time to recover from that?
No, I'm in the gym. I've been in the gym for about a good 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, great. Because, I know a lot of your teammates are obviously competing coming up here pretty soon. We'll talk about that in a sec. But I want to talk about leading up to the Wonderboy fight. And I want to preface this by saying that, you're not making any excuses. I'm just curious to, get your mindset going into that fight because I think it was kind of just known, at least to me, once you actually stepped in the cage, that you didn't have Safe in your corner, your head coach. I believe he got COVID. When did you find out he wasn't going to be there for you? I was curious about that.
Oh, I think I found out 3 or 4 days before I flew out. You know what I mean? And I really I didn't realize how big a corner, how much impact that has to have the right corner behind you until I fought without one. You know what I mean? The whole time I'm like, it's okay, coach. You know what I mean? I got this. You know what I mean? It's all good. You know what I mean? I wasn't worried about it at all. And then when I finally got in there, I'm looking back on it, I was like, man, if Safe was there, you know what I mean? He would have told me to do this to you know what I mean? Because there's a point in the fight where I was just going through the motions, you know what I mean? And if Safe was in the corner, he wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then I know, obviously you had some health issues, prior to taking that fight. Did that impact you at all in the fight in terms of how you felt in there? Because it was, for those who don't know, I'm sure they do, but you almost died after some of those health issues that you had earlier.
Yeah, I really don't think health-wise, I think health-wise I was in shape. You know what I mean? I was in shape. I was ready to go. I still went 5-minute rounds, 25 minutes, and I didn't die. So I think my health was okay. You know what I mean? Maybe subconsciously in the back of my head, I might have been thinking about certain things, but I don't think that had anything to do with my performance.
And then just one more thing. You had a teammate on the card, obviously Alex Morono, competing as well. Did him losing impact you at all? I know for some teammates it does, but I don't know how you felt, seeing him lose to Pettis and then having to fight yourself.
No, it really never impacts me. You know what I mean? He actually had to step up and be in my corner for that fight.
That's right.
Because I didn't have Safe, and then two of my training partners that I trained with the whole camp, Stevie Wynn and Uriah Hall, they both got COVID too. So I was left with just my coach from back home that I never worked with, you know what I mean? And it was him, and then Morono had to step up, and then I flew my strength and conditioning coach out to help with the weight cut and whatnot. But it was just it
was a weird week. And biggest fight of your career, right? Main event. You're fighting a guy in Wonderboy who's, really, really, really tough. So, yeah, just kind of setting the stage here just to give people an idea. And again, no excuses. We're just talking about kind of some of the things you had to deal with going into the fight. So now that we've, been able to talk about that, what did you learn the most from that performance? What are some of the learning lessons you're using going into your next fight?
I'm actually glad that it happened the way it did. You know what I mean? Because I got to see that high level. You know what I mean? He showed me a level that I never experienced before. Never you know what I mean? You see it all the time, but to be in there and to actually feel it, it got to the point where I was just like, all right, screw this. I'm just going to make him tired. I'm going to walk forward, make him throw a lot of punches, and he's going to get tired. He never got tired. For 5-minute rounds, he didn't get tired. If he was tired, he didn't show it and he didn't act like it, but he literally kept the same pace for 5-minute rounds. And that's that lets me know that I wouldn't in that fight, if I was to keep that same pace that he kept, I would gas out. And that just lets me know I have to step up. You know what I mean? I have to be able to keep up with that pace if I'm going to be in the top 5, if I'm going to be a champion, So he showed me something that, my coach always tells me, you know what I mean? But it's one thing to hear from somebody, another thing to see it in your face, you know. So I'm glad I got to have that experience.
And, you know, if we're looking at silver linings in this fight, you got a 5-round fight out of it. You didn't get finished, and you had to deal with a lot of adversity that you actually were able to overcome and at least take the fight, right? So do you kind of take those positives away from that whole experience?
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know what I mean? Regardless of the outcome and what happened, you know what I mean? I'm just proud that I still went through the fight, you know what I mean? Like, especially in the second round, well, first round when I got the cut, the second round, the blood got in my eye, and like I never had blood in my eye like that before. And my vision was blurry on my right side the whole time after that. And like, you know, blood would trickle down every now and then. I started like wiping my eye in the second round, and then I seen the ref look at me. And I was like, I got to stop wiping my eye because he's going to stop the fight. And like that, I'm not going to let the last fight of the year get stopped because of fucking cut. You know what I mean? So I was just like, I just got to deal with this shit. You know, I just got to, don't wipe your eye. Don't make it look like something's wrong with your eye. Just get through the shit. So, yeah, there's no way I was going to let the fight stop over a cut. Like, you got to knock me out or something, but I'm not going to let the last fight of the year, oh, he got cut. Nah.
Did you have a chance to talk to Stephen after the fight at all?
Yeah, we talked in the cage, and then I messaged him on Instagram. We had a little conversation, but yeah, you know what I mean? If you're going to lose to somebody, he's probably the best person to lose to.
Right. He's probably one of the nicest guys ever. I was just curious because I don't know if you guys would ever consider training together or something, because it seemed like, you know, there's a lot of respect there. Even when I talked to Stephen after the fight, you know, he just complimented you a lot of just, you know, having the opportunity to share the cage with you. He said it was just a great experience overall.
Yeah, I do want to train with him, but at the same time, I do want to run that fight back
right.
in the future. Like if there comes a time where he retires or like something happens, you know what I mean? Like where we'll never fight again. Yeah, we'll do that. But he's still in the division. He's still ranked. You know what I mean? I'm still ranked. So
maybe not now. Maybe down the line when you guys get the rematch at some point. Yeah.
I would love to. You know what I mean? He showed me a lot in the cage, and I'm pretty sure I can learn a lot from him. So I'll be down for that, but not right now.
I noticed you've been kind of quiet on social media, which, I mean, I don't blame you. I'm sure there's a lot of upset people just who probably bet on you and are going to be idiots, right? Like, have you kind of just, like, you know, that's how it is, right? Like, I mean, it's just how it goes. Yeah. So, have you been, like, I guess you've been kind of tuning all that out, I would imagine, because like I said, there's probably a lot of dumb comments.
I laugh at all of those. The comments don't bother me. I stay off social media just because, like, you know what I mean, everything that's going on with the world, it kind of just, like, pisses me off. Like, just the way people act on social media nowadays. And, you know what I mean? Like all the stuff that's going on it's all social media fueled. You know what I mean? Like all the riots and stuff that's been happening over the past year here in the U.S., it has been because of social media.
100%.
Like, so it's like, I really don't like social media. If I wasn't a fighter, I wouldn't have social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only reason why I have that Instagram, that Twitter is because, you know what I mean? That's kind of what you got to do as a fighter. But if I didn't have this profession, I would delete that shit because it's really, I think it's a cancer.
Well, and I think too, you know what, we always talk about mental health and how it's become sort of a, you know, something that's on the forefront now. At least people are talking about it, but they never talk about social media. And I think that's a big culprit of why people are feeling this way, right? Because people can be as mean as they want and there's no consequences.
Yeah. And people like the main thing people say, oh, chill out, bro. It's just the internet. Well, when the internet gets people going out to the White House trying to fucking start an insurrection, it's not just the fucking internet. It's never been just the internet. The internet is more than what people say it is. It's like when you attack my internet, it's like, oh, it's okay. It's just the internet. Like, no, like this is, those words have real effects that you're typing, you know?
Well, and it's just, yeah, it wears on you a little bit. I mean, trust me, like it would be the equivalent of like someone going to work and making a mistake at work and like 20,000 people like just going and telling you how bad you screwed up, right? It's no different. It's just you happen to be fighting on TV where people can see you and you have a social media account that they can access, right? It's silly, so. But yeah,
it is.
We could do a whole podcast on that, I'm sure. I got to ask, are you still doing the server job like on the side, or have you completely gone? Because I know you sort of go back and forth sometimes.
Yeah, I am. I plan on going back. I haven't been back since the fight, but I'm gonna go back eventually. Just whenever I feel like.
Yeah, just to help out and just to clarify, I always have to bring this up because of that one interview we did. You're choosing to go back. You don't need the money. It's nothing like that. It's just like if you want to help out and make a little extra money, you can. You're not starving, right? So just want to clear that up.
You always need money. You know what I mean? So like if I could go in one weekend and make $1,000, why not do that?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because that's the potential I can make. You know what I mean? $500 a day. Who wouldn't want to do that? Like that's why I like going there because I can just work a weekend, make $1,000 and. That's $1,000.
Yeah, no, it goes a long way. When are you looking to return? What's sort of an ideal time for you to get back in there?
April will be perfect.
Okay,
that's what I'm looking at. My coach said something about March, but I'm feeling April.
What opponent are you looking at? I know there's been a lot of fights booked up. Is there anyone in mind that you're thinking of for your next fight? I know you'll fight anyone, but is there anyone that would be like a fun matchup, you think?
The only one that really makes sense at this point, because I don't want to fight Neal off of a loss. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Magny,
that's possible, but it's probably going to be Lee.
Lee? Kevin Lee?
No, Lee. I don't know how to say
Lee Jing Lee. Okay, gotcha.
Lee. I don't want to.
I thought you meant Kevin Lee because he has fought at welterweight. That's for some reason when you said Lee, that was the first name that came to mind. Plus, I think Kevin's still got an injury.
I didn't want to say Lee Jingling or something like that.
Yeah, no. You're right. I'm pretty sure I butchered it too. Yeah, he's coming off that big win over Ponzinibbio. What about Ponzinibbio? Would you fight him too? He's pretty highly ranked, or was highly ranked, and then he's coming off a loss.
I wouldn't fight Ponz. He's not ranked, and he just came off of a loss. He needs to fight somebody outside the ranking. Right.
Is Lee ranked? Is he? I guess he would be with that win, maybe. Right.
Yeah, I think he's 14 or 15.
There you go. And McGregor, obviously he lost on the weekend. What do you think should be next for him if you're the UFC matchmakers?
Who would fight? I haven't really looked at that. I really haven't looked at that.
I'll tell you who I think. I think they should do Tony Ferguson. That's a huge name. Ferguson's off 2 losses. You got to get McGregor back in the win column. I think that's a winnable fight for him. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's actually a perfect fight. And it would be good for Tony Ferguson too.
Last question before we go here, because I know you got a bunch of stuff to do. Downtime. What are you watching on Netflix? What video games you playing? What would I find you doing?
I recently got the Oculus Quest.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Me and my girl got that, and we go online and we play games like that together. There's like Rec Room, and then I think it's like Beat Saber, just like this thing. Like I don't know what it's called, but we've been on that. So I'm on VR now. About to throw
Good
my
for you, man. That's awesome. Jeff, thanks so much for the time, man. Really appreciate it. Anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
No, just get out of here. I got to go to this door and get some stuff moving.